How's it going, everyone? This is MOS Tricks, and in this video, we're going to be taking a look at the '1 Magneto player in the world, TIMTHETATMAN. For a lot of you guys might be thinking to yourself, guys, I see TIMTHETATMAN play all the time. I didn't know he was built different like that, but he actually was able to make it to the very top of the leaderboard on Marvel Rivals, and you're going to see exactly how he does it here with nearly a flawless game. So starting off here on offense on Midtown, he's going to be walking by on the car, passing a couple of his favorite places right here, just playing on the left side of the diner, making sure that we don't have Thor pushing up on us, actually taking the shift to the chest. You hate to see it, but actually getting frozen right there. Now, actually trying to fight, or getting a little bit of a bubble right there on the Star-Lord, helping him out, pushing up onto the healers just a little bit, but Thor trying to make some space. Now up on height, not really sure what he's doing, kind of just flying around, being a bit of a menace, I will say, but now going down, and we have a chance here to now push up. Let's see what he can do right here in the 1v1 against his second favorite healer in the game, Adam Warlock. Okay, able to wrap around the corner here. Actually doing pretty well for himself, landing a lot of very good shots. Getting another bubble. I think that was on the Star-Lord there for a second. Pushing up onto the Mantis. Now gonna have to back up a little bit here, but making very solid progress and a lot of space for his team. And guys, as you're about to see in a second here, you thought I was trolling, but I was absolutely not. This is most definitely 100% legitimately TIMTHETATMAN, as you can see in the bottom left corner of your screen. So here he is pushing up convincingly. As I say it though, the thing is gonna get onto him and stop him from getting the point here on point number 1. You have to fight a little bit on the side choke next to the vending machines. A place I've heard he's kind of a fan of, I will say, but you have to back up here a little bit to play with the loot and try and help her, because he does have that thing on her. So gonna have to try and push him back. And now trying to fight up onto the Hela for a second, backing up once again. I think the ult is about to end in a second here. Gonna throw the bubble on himself. Very selfish, I will say, for a #1 player. Thought I'd be more of a team player, but it kind of is what it is. Here, getting into the hangover position with the hand on the head. You hate to see it. Balls in the face. Let's see what happens here. Trying to throw it down onto the Mantis. He is gonna get saved though by the second best healer in the game, the Adam Warlock. Now, also Adam Warlock using the actual best ult in the game. Absolutely, I've never in my life ever seen that ult not go perfectly. So, gonna be able to save the entire team there on the defense. As I said, losing 2 players, including the Adam Warlock going down. You hate to see that. But now, balls in the face coming out from the enemy Magneto. Let's see what he's gonna do. Gonna go for our Hela, I think, right there, and he is gonna get the kill. Now, all of a sudden, TIMTHETATMAN, the best player in the world, all by himself on the cart. Let's see what he can do. Gonna get a little bit of help over the top. Also gonna get the kill on the Mantis. We do have the rest of the team now rallying behind him, trying their absolute best to hold it down, keeping him up once again. He's most definitely screaming for heals, but he is getting them very much so right here, staying alive on the left side here. Now just playing a bit of an off angle here, trying to get a pick on one of the healers. I kind of feel like that should be his DPS's job, but of course the #1 player in the world takes matters into his own hands and is trying to push up on absolutely everybody here, getting the very selfish bubble once again, fighting against the other Magneto by the burning bus. Gonna potentially get the teardown. Not going to get the kill just yet. He's going to get full saved by the Mantis as well too. So all of a sudden, still in shambles here, unable to finish this first point, fighting all by himself once again, the #1 player in the world. TIMTHETATMAN, what is he going to do here? Now pushing up once again. Also has his ult. Here it comes. Balls in the face. Who's going to get it right here? Throwing it towards the thing. Just kidding. Or am I? He's not kidding. Actually completely missing. You hate to see it. Not a play you'd see happen from one of the best players in the world. Going to go for the slash instead to take out the thing. Now pushing up on the Hela. And the invisible woman is going to just vanish into the darkness as we solidify point #1. Now here we are in point #2. TIMTHETATMAN pushed way up by himself, trying to 1v6 the enemy team. I've said many times in the past that you absolutely should not be doing that, but of course, I'm not the #1 player in the world, so you should be probably paying attention to what he does instead, because he's actually making it work, taking all that space, allowing the cart to come all the way up, and now fighting with all that space now taken. Also having the Star-Lord pushing up as well too. We have a lot, basically everybody on our team has their ults, so it's about to go absolutely crazy. I think the Mantis just popped her ult as well too. Gonna have to back up here for a second. I'll be playing a little bit careful. Just kidding. As the #1 player in the world, you can basically do whatever you want. We have flanking Magneto playing up on height here. Unfortunately, the enemy Magneto also popping their ult as well too. Gotta be careful. Wrapping back around, we have Star-Lord popping his ult too. Pushing up onto the Strange, just gonna try and push him back. And all of a sudden, guys, the flawless gameplay. As a matter of fact, Tim has not gone down a single time. Now blasting off, taking up the enemy Strange just like that. Tim, you love to see it on the scoreboard, pushing everybody back. Guys, you're not the #1 player. Back up, buddy. Everybody get behind the wall. You're not those guys. I'm going to be honest. All of a sudden, TIMTHETATMAN with his ult. Let's see what he can do right here. Mantis popping her ult as well too. Pushing up onto the Hela. Here it comes. Balls in the face. Who's going to get it? Going straight on the invisible woman, and also with the help of the Mantis, going to take her down. All of a sudden, in 6v5, 2 players going down. There goes also the Adam Warlock, the second best healer in the game, going down. Gonna have a very good chance right here to try and get point number 2, but Magneto on the other team gonna be able to stop us here for a second. There goes the Hella, popping her all. Kind of pathetic, I'm gonna be honest, but of course, for TIMTHETATMAN, nothing is that crazy for him to take them down. Just like that, slashing through the entire defense right here, pushing everybody back. Very selfish bubble once again by the enemy Magneto. It's not gonna help him either. Just jumping around like an absolute ape on the point, all by himself. Once again, TIMTHETATMAN kind of surrounded by the enemy team there for a second. Kind of a scary spot to be in, but he does have triple support, making sure that he absolutely does not go down and he can fight like a monkey on the point and make sure he's getting all the kills. Because guys, come on, if you're gonna be the #1 player in the world, you absolutely have to have a supporting cast and crew, which TIMTHETATMAN absolutely does, running forward with the convoy as we're going to try and get up the ramp right here. We got 4 players on cart, just gonna try and get around the corner and solidify point number 2, now pushing into point number 3. Let's see the setup right here by TIMTHETATMAN, #1 player in the world. And now pushing up onto the enemy Magneto for a second here. We did see that there was somebody on the left here. It is Adam Warlock, the second best healer in the game. What's he gonna do? Absolutely nothing. And honestly guys, I'm super shocked as well. Now we have the enemy Magneto pushing up on us. There he goes, also getting choke slammed by our Hella, pushing him all the way back to the shadow realm, or the spawn room I should say. Now once again, 1v6ing, actually as I say it, there was the Star-Lord there for a second, so TIMTHETATMAN, he has learned. On point number 2, kind of crazy. Point number 3, he's playing a little bit closer to his DPS, and now trying to hold kind of a cheeky angle here on the statue. Once again, he does have his ult. Let's see what he can do. Is he even going to give them a chance to get out of the spawn, or is he going to impose his will with an ult to try and take out all the healers before they have every chance to get out of the spawn? Here goes the Mantis ult right here though. Here comes the ult, balls in the face. Who's gonna get it? Invisible Woman is gonna get slam jammed, but of course the Adam Warlock is going to keep her alive once again. But also very convincing, the DPS really putting on a show, trying to keep everybody pushed back off of the cart, making very solid progress, pushing up once again onto the Strange, and the Magneto finding himself in a shield 2v1 situation. Gotta be careful, but of course, but guys, what are we talking about? As the #1 player, you do whatever you want. Pushing back the Strange all the way to the spawn room. It's like, buddy, you're not that guy. He wants it again for a second time, and also gonna get backed up again. This might be the point right here. Mantis able to touch for a second. We hear the Adam Warlock also popping off, getting a massive res. Would have been crazy if nobody died in the first place, but why would you do that when you could just play Adam Warlock? Now let's see what TIMTHETATMAN, the #1 player in the world, can do on defense. Now here we are on defense. We're gonna have TIMTHETATMAN also up on height with Luna, and I'm pretty sure Star-Lord is also up here as well too. Here we see him on the right side. Now typically you would think to yourself, aren't we supposed to be playing down on the cart to try and stop everybody from pushing the cart? But instead, TIMTHETATMAN, the #1 player in the world, has other plans, and that is to try and protect the vending machines and all the snacks that are here on the second floor. Basically, no one's gonna try and get into this corridor here, because if they do, you best believe it's gonna be their life. So instead, he's gonna be playing up on height, completely neglecting the cart instead, and trying to fight the other Magneto, who absolutely does in fact want his snacks, but he's not gonna allow him to do it. Now, pushing everybody back, once again, putting a bubble onto the Star-Lord. For once in his life, not being super selfish, able to push back the Magneto as well too. Now trying to put some damage onto the enemy healers. Let's see what he can do here, playing a bit of a shoulder peek. Now looking at the Invisible Woman, pushing her all the way back to the spawn. I'm gonna be honest, as the best player in the world, this actually worked out pretty well. And now all of a sudden we have Adam Warlock standing above TIMTHETATMAN's second favorite area in the map, the Grand Central Diner. Of course, we're gonna have to try and shut that down immediately and not let him get anywhere close to his favorite restaurant right there. Gonna be sending him right back to the spawn. Now putting some damage here onto the Hella, also not touching the cart. As a matter of fact, not a single person on the defense is touching the cart, because realistically, they just don't care. There it goes on its way right now to try and get to the point by itself. All of a sudden, 3 people, they most definitely just heard me say that. 3 players from Tim's team finally trying to play at the level or the caliber of him, the #1 player in the world, and touching the card to try and stop it from actually getting progress. Also here, TIMTHETATMAN with his ult. Very scary spot to be in there for a second. Almost going down, now pushing the Strange back, still has his ult. Let's see what he does here. Getting a 1v1 against the shield tanks. Let's see what he can do. Of course, best player in the world for a reason, going to shut down the enemy Strange and go for a full reset right here. And now as the offense is pushing out for a second time, they gotta be asking themselves, how do we beat this player up on height who is absolutely not defending the cart? I have no idea how to get past him. Every time I see his scrumptious, beautiful face, I gotta push up onto height and lose the fight, unfortunately. But here we are pushing back into his favorite area, back towards the vending machines, pushing out the enemy He thought he had a chance, bro. The enemy Magneto thought he had a chance to try and get here. Here comes balls in the face. Huge, oh my God, I was gonna say a huge Agamotto also coming out, but it does not matter. TIMTHETATMAN smashing everybody with his ultimate, pushing them all out and away from the from the vending machines. Kind of crazy, I'm gonna be honest right here. And now, for the first time ever, on defense here, touching the floor, and now also having the cart pushing back. Of course, see, look how much progress he's actually made on defense here, pushing the cart all the way back. And oh boy, guys, we are in a world of trouble. All of a sudden, we have the number 1 and 2 healers on the same team. We have a Jeff and an Adam Warlock now rushing at us at full charge, at full speed towards TIMTHETATMAN here now on defense, basically by himself, kind of in a scary spot. He is getting held up pretty hard, though, by the triple healers, which he absolutely does love. Now, going to be playing a little bit closer to the right side here. Now, also getting absolutely forced up on, especially by the Hella right here, kind of just tiptoeing in his stilettos, going into her ult for the bait. Now hitting the mannequin challenge in the wrong year. What's he doing? Trying to take down the ult right there. And unfortunately, TIMTHETATMAN is going to go down. And unfortunately, finding himself in a very rough spot there. But of course, as the number 1 player in the world, sometimes, you know, you can't always play perfect. You can play pretty good, but you can't always play perfect. Right now, I think TIMTHETATMAN is sitting at a cool 33-1 right now. So only died 1 time, absolutely putting on a clinic on this game right here. Once again, 1 above all player, Magneto, best in the world. Let's see what he can do here. He's jumping, he's popping and locking, just kind of throwing fire. Once again, just neglecting the cart, because why would the tank play up on the cart when you could absolutely not? TIMTHETATMAN, he does have his ult. Let's see what he can do right here. I know the target. We all know the target. We see he has the bubbles coming out. Oh, here comes the Jeff. Let's see what he's gonna do. Is he gonna get the eats? He's not. Here comes the balls of the face. Gonna take him down just like that, saving the entire team from the Jeff ult coming out right there. TIMTHETATMAN, he absolutely knows how to use that ult to perfection, pushing back the Jeff, the number 1 threat on the enemy team. Now has a chance, as you can see right here, to roll the rest of the team. The Luna's in shambles. Just kidding. The Luna is absolutely dead. The enemy Magneto also absolutely dead. Adam Warlock, let's see what he can do. Absolutely nothing. Shut up, Adam Warlock. Also Jeff getting pushed all the way back. Let's see what he can do here. Now playing the right side of cover. Gotta be careful here. Just jiggle peeking. He's jiggling. He's jiggling. Can I say that? I don't know. He's jiggling, though. He absolutely is jiggling. Are they going to try and leave the charge with Adam Warlock, putting another selfish bubble on himself? He didn't have to do that, guys. I don't know why he's wasting his cooldowns like an absolute maniac. But, of course, number 1 player in the world. He knows what he's doing, and I absolutely do not know what he's doing whatsoever. Here comes the enemy Magneto. Going to miss absolutely everything. Literally cringe. Let's see what he can do here. Pushing up onto the enemy Luna, trying to kill her while she's in her ult. We all know it doesn't work, but as the number 1 player in the world, you absolutely can do whatever you want to do, and it's probably going to work anyways. We have to back up here a little bit. Enemy Strange, unfortunately, gonna be losing the Star-Lord as well, too. Now pushing up with our Mantis, having the shield. Here comes the Adam Warlock, the best ult in the game. I wonder what's gonna happen here. Pretty much nobody's gonna die. Kind of insane. For the first time ever, the ult actually worked out well. Just kidding. Everybody shut up. Both those 2 players just got absolutely destroyed. Hella and Luna go back to the spawn room. What are you doing? Strange in the small dark room. Magneto, he's absolutely lost. Looking like an 80-year-old man just falling off a cliff and now going back to the spawn. And just like that, gonna get the full reset again. TIMTHETATMAN. Guys, you can't make this up. You cannot make this up. He has his ult as well too. What's he going to do here? And guys, this could be the final fight of the match. Of course, we have Jeff doing whatever he's doing right now, just wrapping around the corner, kind of being weird. Anyways, we have TIMTHETATMAN playing the right shoulder peek absolutely exceptionally. Gonna be taking down the enemy Magneto once the bubble runs out. There he goes right there, down to the hands of Ryan Gosling. That's something I thought I'd never actually say in my entire life, but yeah, here we are in 2025 saying Ryan Gosling taking down Magneto. Sure, it is what it is. All of a sudden, having everybody push back. They have about 15 seconds here to try and make something happen. Will we see an Adam Warlock ult for no reason at 36% on his ult, also dead? Let's see what he can do. Only 4 seconds left, and of course, here comes Jeff to the rescue. Is he gonna be able to do anything? Absolutely not, except for lay there like a dumb, dead idiot. And just like that, of course, TIMTHETATMAN, an incredible performance, taking the dub in a 3-1 fashion. And guys, just like that, the man, the myth, the legend, TIMTHETATMAN putting on an unbelievable performance. 45 kills, only 1 death, and 13 final hits. And guys, if you want to see more top level gameplay from most definitely TIMTHETATMAN, the number 1 player in the world, then please be sure to subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be dropping videos on TIMTHETATMAN and his reign of terror as the best player in the world daily. Once again, this is MOS Trick saying thanks for watching the video and have a great rest of your day.